when I come on these Zooms, I don't want to talk. I want to listen because there's people so more qualified than I am. Judges and elected officials, people from the church. I'm just I'm in a non-essential industry. I'm equivalent of a court jester. I do movies and television. I voice cartoons. And up until recently, I really kept my political views to myself. But with what happened in 2016, I realized that it's my responsibility as a citizen of a country I love to speak out against what has happened. And the fact that he's now been renominated just blows my mind. I'm not in America right now. I'm out of the country doing a film. And I have to tell you, it happens to be Canada. They are so tuned in to what is going on. And the elation we felt over the last 3 weeks as Kamala has become the top of the ticket and has chosen Tim Walz, it's indescribable. I haven't felt this kind of enthusiasm since Barack Obama in 2008. This feeling that maybe this orange fever is breaking. The possibility that we can go back to the kind of inclusive, positive politics that we remember, because there is no more Republican Party. It's a cult, as simple as that. And like all cult members, they believe whatever the leader tells them, regardless of reality. Now, I've been very lucky. I was invited to the White House during Jimmy Carter's administration, and I was again invited during Barack Obama's administration. But they were large events. I mean, it was still a thrill, no question about it. But just this past May the 4th, of course, they targeted that date for a reason, but I was invited by Joe Biden with my wife to visit the White House, and he brought us into the Oval Office. Now, I thought it'd be like a 5-minute photo op, and he's got to be the most. It's I can't imagine the pressure of that job. He's busy 24/7, and I can't tell you how personable and wonderful he was. He brought us all around the office. He was taking photographs and telling us stories. I didn't want to ask to sit at the Resolute desk. He, without asking, pulled out the chair and said, "Sit down, Mark." So I was thrilled. I asked him, by the way, where did the former guy watch television for 187 minutes on January 6th? He goes, "Oh, you want to see the TV room?" He opened the door. There it was. And as we left, I met the staff, all the people working for him, and I said to them, whatever I can do to help, I will do. So I've been doing, and even before that, I've been contacted by a lot of people running for office, and Gloria Johnson and Vindman, and I don't know, at least 12 to 15 Zooms with these people. Like I said, I never say no. I mean, if we find a time, we get it done. And right now, all I can tell you is that we need to campaign like we're 30 points behind. I mean, I know we're giddy. We're seeing these polls coming out. Like I say, I'm out of the country, so I don't get C-SPAN. We get CNN and Fox, but they didn't broadcast. So I went to YouTube and watched the rally yesterday in Las Vegas, the first rally I've watched from start to finish. And like I say, it's off the charts. I mean, people are so enthusiastic. They are so thrilled to be able to elect Kamala, and Tim Walz is just beyond great. I mean, he talks like the average guy down the street. He's funny. He's focused. He's right on the issues as she is. And by the way, in 2019, I was on Jimmy Kimmel, and I came in and I said, "Who's the other guest?" And they said, "Oh, it's Kamala Harris." I said, "Kamala Harris." I mean, I was a fan of her when she was Attorney General, when she was District Attorney. I do follow politics quite closely. My wife says that's Mark's sports. I don't really follow sports, but I do follow politics. And of course, as senator, so I was a major fan. I said to the producers, "Can you go ask her if I can meet her?" So they left. About 2 minutes later, they came back. They said, "She'd be glad to meet you." So I went in, and she is just as delightful as you would imagine. I fanboyed out, got my selfie. What I didn't realize was that she's a big Star Wars fan. She got out when she went out to do her spot. She said, "Oh, Luke just told me the Force is with me." So delightful, so charming, so smart, so focused. I watched recently her interrogating Bill Barr, and I'm telling you, I cannot wait for the debate. She is formidable beyond most people's expectations. And the Republicans complain, oh, they hate the laugh. You notice only, and remember, they hated Hillary's laugh too. Only women aren't allowed to laugh the way the right wingers think they should laugh. For me, and for most people that know what's going on, it's an expression of joy. I mean, that's what's so great, that we have the optimism, the joy, the uh, thrill of defending the country we all love, versus someone who appeals to the darkest elements in human nature: racism, anger, resentment, fear of immigrants. I mean, it's everything is dark, dark, dark. Come to the light side. Come to Kamala and to Tim. That's all I can say. And I do tell people what can I do? First of all, I say you don't have to read all 960 odd pages of the Project 2025. Google it, because you have to give it to him. One thing the Orange Atrocity does is he tells you what he's going to do. I mean, he brags about having Roe v. Wade overturned. Everybody wanted me to do it. Everybody. No, everybody did not want you to do it. And the fact that they would put in writing this frightening Project 2025, much more frightening than anything Edgar Allan Poe or Stephen King ever wrote. I say Google it. It's terrifying, what they have planned. So I say make sure you're registered. Go to iwillvote.com. Because when we vote, we win. That's why they're so big on voter suppression on the other side. That's why I checked my voter status, because I've heard about people saying, well, I've been registered all my life, and then I went over and found out somehow I'm no longer registered. So do that. Register to vote, make a plan to help elderly people that might not be able to get to the polls on their own, or at least hook them up with mail-in voting. Ask your friends to ask their friends to ask their friends, like a chain letter. Are you voting? Because, like I say, we all expect this to be. This is more than just any campaign that I've ever seen before. This is a genuine movement, and at this moment, I couldn't be happier. But like I say, we've got to campaign like we're 30 points behind. And on November 5th, I think our long orange nightmare will be over. So thank you all for having me. And like I say, I learn something every time I zoom in, because these incredible people that you have on these Zooms, like Eric Swalwell said, I've been on like 4 Zooms with him in the last week. I see him more than my 2 elder sons. So, but it's been a pleasure. And like I say, it's a less than 90 days now, less than 3 months. So it's got to be all gas, no pedal until November 5th. So thanks again for having me, everyone. Hamill.